What it do, everybody? It's your boy Johnny B. We on JBTV. Got a very special guest in the building. Got the current assistant coach at Carmen Southwest High School. Got the trainer, mentor, founder of Members Only Basketball. Got the former Division II All-American. And if y'all know me, man, I love basketball. So I'm very happy and proud to say, man, I got a first time we talking basketball. I got a pro on here, real professional, man, pro athlete. We got my boy Raymont McElroy in the building. What's going on with you, bro?
Oh, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Man, hell yeah. Before we get into your story,
okay,
you know what I'm saying? I know you coaching right now. You in the grind. You in the middle of the season.
For sure.
Just tell me a little bit how that's going for you and just, you know, how the season going for you so far.
Right now, we all right right now. I think we for sure top 4 in Division III. You know, beat some heavy hitters. We just took a recent L. I'm glad we took, you know what I mean? So we get to learn from it. It's going to prepare us for us that time when we're trying to go upstate. So right now, man, going to high school, I will say it's a big difference. It's a big gap, I would say, from what I'm used to, but I love it, man. Just getting experience, and then I'm working with one of the best players, if not the best player, in my opinion, in the state of Wisconsin, so in Miko. So, man, listen, it's a blessing. I love it, man. It's a grind for sure.
Most definitely, man. And too, so this is your first time coaching, doing assistant coaching?
Yeah, it's my first time with high school. I've been passed up on plenty jobs. I just was always, I'm gonna stick to my middle school. I'm gonna do my training. I'm gonna do AAU. But then when that opportunity came, when Rome left and went to Grambling State, and he was like, man, Carmen could use you. And then I taught the pre, and then from there, man, it all worked out. So it was a blessing, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. This is a great opportunity, man. I've been learning a lot, being around a lot of young cats, man, that I was fans of their games, and now I'm just there every day, and I'm watching them. It's like, man, wow, seeing it every day. So yeah, for sure.
Most definitely. And too, I was lucky enough, the first high school game I caught in a minute was one of y'all games too, and it was a comeback too at the
Terry Porter Classic.
Yeah, definitely. You just you know what I'm saying, how resilient y'all was coming back from that. You see that a lot in your youth right now?
Yeah, I would say with that group, you know what I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but with that group, when I seen them, and I've been with them since the summer, I just seen they had that attitude, they cared, they had that dog. That's what I would say, we dogs. Our tallest guy is 6 foot, 6'1", I think maybe. I'm gonna give you that, our center. So to go against, you know, that team and that heavy hitter, and they got, to my opinion, talent-wise, they got 8 guys that I feel like going to school for free. Top to bottom, you know what I mean? So to have that result, you down 20, that crowd, that atmosphere, knowing we beat them last year too, and you know they wanted that, you know what I mean? So it was just, that to me, that was the closest thing I had since playing in the professional game, where I'm like, man, I got that energy. Like, I was nervous for the game. I'm like, dog, what if we get? Got you right. Or we might smack them. I'm like, But yeah, man, it was dope, man. I would say that it was dope.
It most definitely was entertaining. I'm sure I ain't catch a lot of high school games. I want to catch more, but I'm sure that was one of the more entertaining games of the year.
Dogs, you know man, dogs.
So, and I'm gonna have to check y'all out, because that game went crazy. And too, so right now you train and you doing coaching.
Yeah.
So like, just your reproach on that. How do you approach the two differently? Like, I know sometimes there's a conflict between like coaching and training.
For sure.
I know a lot of coaches sometimes don't like, you know what I'm saying? Because as a team, they gotta go more as a team. So like, what's the difference and what's your approach with both, since you in both lanes?
So with training, I will say this, man. I tell guys this all the time when they come work with me. Don't come in here thinking I'm finna show you a million moves. I can only show you what I did on all levels and how I was successful at all levels. And how I did that was just repetition on the small stuff, the small details. You know what I mean? So it's no knock to nobody else, but you know, other guys that's training, they either crazy fast, crazy athletic, you know, tall. I'm none of that. You know what I mean? So to be able to say that I averaged 20, 25, I got career highs of 60 in Mexico, and saying that I did it with the things that I'm showing these guys, especially, you know what I mean? Because I can relate. I know what it's like to be in that field and to be in that lane and what it takes. So, man, a lot of my stuff, man, I'm gonna be honest, man, it's really, I show you a move, it's about reading a defender, it's about small little details of how to get past a defender, how to score, and just mastering, you know, your craft. I think sometimes people like to do a million different things. No, you need to master what you're good at and make it great, and that's what's gonna make you stand out. So for me, that's what it's about. But I would say the difference between that and coaching, I had to learn right away to stop critiquing everything from a trainer standpoint and just coach. Okay. So the training part is what you do during practice. It's what you do during, during the off-season workouts. During the game, you got to make it about the team. Mm-hmm. You have to make it about what's going on and what you have right then and there. Because I can't stop you and say, hey, we need to work on this. Nah, you know what I mean? And that's where I had to separate. But I will say the guys I'm with, I don't call them. I just got a text today, man. I know it's New Year's Eve. Can we get in the gym? Mm-hmm. Literally before I got here. And I'm like, dog, this is dope. But no, I don't have a gym right now. I'm enjoying my family. And I got to go see my boy because I wanted to do this interview. So, yeah, man, like I said, we got dogs. So I can't speak for everybody else. But the fact that we got dogs and guys that want to learn and respect, you know what I mean, in a sense. Because I never just come out and be like, I did this. Mm-hmm. They see what I'm doing with other people and then they did their own research. They're like, dude, you had 48? Bro, you had 41 in college? Mm-hmm. Bro, I'm like, yeah, bro, yeah. Like, they like, bro, you weren't doing that. And I'm like, hey, listen, man, it's simple. Basketball's simple, man.
Very
I feel
simple.
like we're making it hard right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's my slogan, man. Make basketball simple again, man.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's people putting too much into it with all the extra stuff, man. Make it simple, man.
Most definitely.
Easy, man.
Yeah, and like the talent level is real high now, but like you said, it's not a lot of basketball players. There's a lot of talent, but there's not a lot of basketball players.
It's a difference, man. You got hoopers, you got basketball players, man. Mm-hmm. It's a difference between them. People gotta understand that.
Yeah, facts. So yeah, let's get into your story a little bit. You from Milwaukee, Wisconsin?
Yes, I'm born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, for sure.
Okay, so just tell me a little bit, about your childhood, even off the court, just growing
up. Coming up, I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't take basketball like serious about 12, 13. Always with my pops, who's from here. Mom's from here, my family from here. I would say it was my uncle, man. He was at Washington. Charles Houston, he was there, and he used to always take me. I was the little brother, the little nephew that always was with him. And I was like, dog, they really just hoop all day. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, dang. So I just started picking up. I started watching, and then slowly but surely, Uncle, like, you want to play? So he started throwing me in there, and I went up to their level. So what got me was I was getting my butt kicked at the end of the day. So for me, it was like, hey, I got to get in this gym more. For we didn't have a gym back then. My bad. They got the gym now. But I had to get outside, man. I had to get to it. So I remember asking my dad, I said, man, I want a basketball court. Don't give me nothing else. Give me a basketball court. Put it together, put it in the back. And when I say that's all I did all day, every day, that's what I did. You know what I mean? So from there, just kind of just took the game to another level when I was in middle school. I remember being at a private school, and then I jumped in the city school league, and I remember seeing the difference. And I'm like, oh, I'm averaging 40 over here, but then I go over here, I got some stuff I need to work on. So it humbled me because I thought I was just so cold. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and get in this gym. So I got in there and I just wanted to play against the best. Mm-hmm. And the best to do that was to go to 124th or Schroeder, the YMCA, and that's where I went all the time. I didn't duck, no smoke. I wanted to play against those guys. I didn't want to play against them. I wasn't trying to build friendships. I literally just wanted to kill everything that was in my way. So from there, I just kind of felt like with the basketball, my name kind of, and it was like, man, Ray all right. Like, he ain't, you know what I mean? Y'all don't mention him, but he all right now. And that's just kind of where it came from because, I really took it serious. And there was a lot of things that was around me at that time. I could look at the guys and I'm like, bro, I never hated, but it's like, man, I want to be better than him. Like, I really want to be better. And I use that as motivation. You know what I mean? So, for sure.
I do. You're right on that. I do see you as a late bloomer. And it's crazy.
For sure.
Like, you brought up West Suburban. I probably the first time I ever seen you was at West Suburban. And you was maybe like a little older, maybe like a junior. But by then, you had game. Yeah. For me not to know who you was.
Yeah.
At the time, that was sort of surprising. So, you most definitely right on that. You know what I'm saying? And always got it in as a late bloomer. So I give you that. Yeah, I get hit with that a lot, man. I'm definitely, I will admit that for sure. Mm-hmm. I admit that for sure. So, middle school, what middle school did you go to?
So I went to Bell Middle School. That was a public school, that's right. It was like connected to Hamilton. Mom was like, I said, what's going on? She like, the girls, you're doing too much. So she put me in a private school. I went to Mount Calvary. And I'm not sure, like, Derek Hankins, Travis Haney, those guys I was playing against. And that's when I'm like, okay, some guys in this private school league. And I just went there and I did my thing. And then we ended up going to nationals. It was crazy. I didn't even know they had a national, like, private school league. We ended up getting invited to Indiana as a top 40 team in the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that time, I'm averaging like 35. You know, I'm picking between Milwaukee Lutheran or Mesmer. Those are my two choices. School's hitting me up. Mom's like, you're not going to the city. I proved that I couldn't handle it when I was at Bell. So long story short, I ended up going to Mesmer with Hines, you know what I mean? So it just made sense for me. I remember playing JV and VAR Summer League as a freshman. And he playing me, and I'm actually producing. And then we get to Mesmer, Brother Bob, like, freshman ain't playing VAR. I'm like, what?
Very strict.
I'm like, man, come on, man. I'm ready to get up out of here. But no, I stuck it out, man. I was at Mesmer. I ended up leaving. I ended up coming back. But, yeah, man, you know, I would say that was the first time that I hit a hurdle where I'm like, with basketball, where I thought I was all good. And it stopped. And then Hines ended up leaving. That killed me. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm like, oh, I came here for you.
Yeah.
I could have went anywhere else, but I'm here for you. And he ended up leaving. And then he tried to get me to go to Vincent. I'm like, Mom's is not allowing me to go to Vincent. I don't want to go to Vincent, though. I want to play against them. I don't want to play with those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so for me, I want the comp. I don't want to join nobody. You know what I mean?
And that's big, too, with Hines leaving. I remember because I came in right after that. Mesmer was somewhat of a basketball school because I do remember coming in just as a visitor watching. Y'all was playing Trayvon Hughes and them. Just that game. That was a big game.
Listen.
And, you know what I'm saying? It was just live. But and when I came to Mesmer, it just didn't seem like no basketball school. Everybody got here. Yeah, everybody got out of here. You left too, you know what I'm saying? So it was a different...
I left, DT left, Sad left, Big Rick left. We all got up out of there, man.
But it just didn't want to be a basketball program. So that was a good move that you left. But, you know, so going into high school, how was your experience at Mesmer, though? Like, just playing
From a school standpoint, I would say Mesmer was... straight on. Like, I was cool with Mesmer as far as education wise. The coaching stuff, I just kind of feel like when Hines left, they were just throwing people in there, man. I feel like Keith Stewart, who was an All-American from there, literally a McDonald's All-American, went to Purdue, should have been the coach. They had gave it to somebody else, and I remember at halftime, me and DT looking at each other. Cause look, we up 20 at Milwaukee Lutheran, and Milwaukee Lutheran was a higher seed. We like, bro, we got him. We go out there. Man, I ain't gonna say the coach name, but he had me and DT sit on the bench like, we good. We ain't in foul trouble, nothing. Bro, he let Derek and Travis start going off. I'm like, bro, time out, bro. So by the time we get in, they got it going now. We ain't guarding them, so now they confidence, and they had little Andrew Ferry. So we talking about three guys that I feel like, one ended up going pro, Andrew ended up playing in Portugal and all, but those two guys, like, I'm not gonna lie, those are elite guys. And when I say they got going, it was over. And I remember after the game, me and DT, I'm like, DT, what we doing? I'm like, bro, I think I'm gonna slide this off. And he like, man, shit, I'm gonna go to Tech. I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna go to Tech. That fits you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to South. Moser on me over here, so I'm gonna slide. And then me and him made that decision, and me and him were the two leading scorers. I think he was averaging like 20, I was averaging like 18.
I remember.
And I just remember, I'm like, bro, you know, this don't make sense. And we finna go into our senior year. Like, we gotta be able to trust the coach to make. You just killed us. We was on a go. We was on a run, man. We was ready. And at that time, we was just like, we just need to make a decision. And for me, it was about exposure. Mesmer was not giving me that exposure I needed. So when I went to South, when I say we played in Kentucky, it was in Ohio, went to Chicago twice. I remember playing in Ohio. We played in LeBron James tournament, St. Vincent St. Mary's. Playing against a guy that was committed to Wright State. I think I had like 35. And next thing you know, Cleveland State, I got Division I's. At South Division, watching me practice every day, and I'm like, I made the right decision. You know what I mean? It just made sense. I made the right decision. So for me, you know what I mean? I don't regret it at all, man. I love the process. I love the grind. I don't regret no decision I made at all. Zero. So I was happy with going to South and running to Moser. Man, he's responsible. Ty Moser is responsible for a lot of guys from here, top guys. Nobody gives him his credit, man. When I say when guys don't have schools, top elite guys, you know what I mean, don't have schools, they coaches are calling, hey, man, can you get him to a school? Can you do X, Y, Z? And I can literally sit here and say every guy that played for him had an opportunity to go play in college somewhere. You know what I mean? So South Division was just the move, and it made sense.
Most definitely. Okay, yeah, and I was going to ask you about that, too. You know what I'm saying? Just your experience at South, you broke down pretty well. But
yeah. So
just overall, so at the end of your senior year at South, you got to play the best competition in Milwaukee, you know what I'm saying? So,
for sure.
Do you have any, like, you know, moments where you feel like, you know, just was y'all best game, most hype game, best experience for you just in the city?
I feel like the best thing that happened to me was the game against Vincent.
Okay.
Because if you know about that 07, 08, 09, Vincent, listen,
And this is an 07 class, right?
Yes, people got to understand, man, how deep and good 07 and 08 was. And I be trying to tell people, and I don't be trying to knock no other years.
Yeah.
I'm just saying as far as from top to bottom, man. But we got our ass kicked. We lost by probably 20. Mm-hmm. And that's when they had Bree, DG, Siobhan. I could keep going. Yusuf, City.
Yeah.
I could keep going. They had Trail. I could keep going just with that team alone. You know what I mean? But I remember they was talking crazy. Beat us by 20. And that game, I ain't gonna lie, is what the rest of the year turned me up. And I think I probably ended up averaging probably like, I think it was like 18, 7, and 7. You know, I was a point guard. So, and I'm on the team, we won more than we lost. You know what I mean? Obviously, I wish we had more time together to grow together and things like that. But again, I don't regret South. But I will say that game stood out because that game humbled me. I remember we took, but we got beat. I've never been beat like that. And I remember sitting there like, damn, like, I gotta be better than them. So I remember, to me, my standard, the guy a lot of people compared me to was Chris Perrine.
Yeah.
A lot of people compared me to him, and it was like, who better? And I remember I was like, for me, I ain't never hate. I'm never gonna say he weak, but for me, I want to be better than him. So guess what I'm finna do? I'm finna go grind at the gym so the next time I see him, it's smoke. And that's what it was. It was in between them lines, man. That's what it was.
Thanks. Oh, that's good. That's good too, man. And to let me think. Damn, you got.
I know you ain't think about 07. Listen, you don't want me to go top to bottom, bro. We ain't gonna do. Listen.
No, 07 crazy, most definitely.
You don't want to 07, 08. You know what I mean? You go into the Corey Lucius, the Kwame Mitchells, the Tyrone Gordon. You can keep going. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's crazy. It get deep, man.
So do you feel like, I know you don't got no regrets, so do you feel like do you wish you would have just hopped into the city conference a little earlier, or you had the opportunity to? I know you was a child.
If I could do it, I don't regret anything. But if it's one thing I could change, I remember me, Travis, was talking about joining Derek at Milwaukee Lutheran, and I remember Milwaukee Lutheran coach. He was like, "We gonna start y'all," and he said, "By the time y'all juniors, for sure seniors, y'all have a gold ball." And I just remember looking at that team, and I'm like, "Dude, if I was there with what they had, that's where I should have went." And it was just like, man, I should have went. I just wanted to kind of get away. For me, I knew for me to be successful, I had to go to a smaller school. Milwaukee Lutheran was huge. And then how it goes is, again, I just told you we was top 40 in the country in private schools. So we played in Indiana. And I remember we played against everybody, and all the top guys from those schools was going there. But then you know what come with that. The girls know who you are. And I'm like, dog. I remember having a real conversation with Mom. Mom's like, listen, if you're not going to be able to focus, you're not playing basketball. So don't go there. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't going there then. Yeah, like, it just made sense. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to Mesmer then. And her and Hines knew each other. And Hines knew my pop. So it just all made sense for me to go to Mesmer. You know what I mean? At that time. So that was a decision.
Good, man. So, all right. So it's your senior year after the season. What's the recruiting process looking like for you?
So on that team, I was the only person that was a qualifier. So back then, like now, you don't even gotta have an ACT score. Now they knocked all that out. Okay. But you had to have an ACT score.
Yeah, I remember that.
So if you didn't have that or a certain GPA, so I had to go through the clearinghouse. So a lot of people don't know this, man. This is free game right here, free game. So the clearinghouse is how I used to go. They take away all your extra stuff, so your art, your gym, the stuff that's not the major curriculum. They'd take it away. So my GPA was a 3.2 overall. They took that away. My GPA ended up being like a 2.5.
Oh, damn.
So I'm like, because they take you to the gym, get an A, and art, I'm going to get an A. They take all, so think about the guys that only got a 2.5 CUNY. That means you below a 2, you can't get a scholarship. So I had that, and
I didn't know they did.
So it's crazy. Look, crazy. I was telling you how I was killing, and I had Cleveland State after I played at the St. Vincent. I had a lot of JUCOs, a lot of Division I JUCOs. So it came down to Cleveland State, Northern Michigan. Northern Michigan was a D2, it was like 5 hours from Wisconsin. Cleveland State fell through because Mike Conley ended up going to Ohio State. Norris Cole was being recruited. Norris Cole ended up going to Cleveland State.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm the guy that they're sitting there, when they come to see UWM, they like, man, we like him. And I know where Norris Cole commit, it's over.
Okay, that
and I'm like,
sense.
You know what, looking back, I get it.
Yeah, I get that.
I ain't mad at nobody. But no.
And he put up numbers there too.
He was in the league, bro. He had a 40 and 20 game.
Yeah, he had a 40 and 20 game. I just seen that too.
Play with Bron. So, man, look. So, yeah, so for me, I remember sitting down with my family, looking at all these schools. And my grandma was like, you not going to a junior college. And I don't know what persona she had of that, but she like, I don't want you to go there. She like, this school's offering you a full scholarship. You 5 hours away. If something happened, we could be there and we can watch you play. So I said, man, all right, Granny. Granny like, make sure your cell phone bill good. I'll make sure you got some. I said, oh, Granny, there it is.
Thanks.
Committed to Northern Michigan, man. I was with Dean Ellis. And I remember sending over my scholarship, faxed it over. Remember my visit on the little plane. First time I ever been on the plane was my official visit to Northern Michigan. So I would say the experience was dope. That's something I really wish every basketball player can experience, like going somewhere, somebody guiding you and showing you around the campus, going to a football game, and then talking to the president of the school, and it was just a dope environment, man. I can't really put no words to it, but I went on a couple visits, but that one stood out, and I knew right away when Granny said I was going anyway. Yeah, so it didn't even matter. Yeah. But yeah, man. But yeah, Northern Michigan was the move, and then had a good couple years there, and then I remember they brought another coach in because my coach ended up retiring. He had some heart issues, so from there I ended up going to West Virginia Wesleyan. And then listen, from there everything blew up in a sense, man. I left Northern on a situation where the coach came in and I wasn't his typical point guard. His point guard was fast. Like I told you, I'm not fast, bro. I'm not. I gotta be me. And I remember telling me like, you slow. Like, how was you averaging 18 last year? Like, how was you? And I remember just one practice. He asked us after the game. He like, so why you think we lost? He asked everybody. I'm the last person. And I just said, man, we helped too hard. How they had 18 threes. I'm like, our defensive scheme had to change, and they never changed.
Oh, y'all gave up 18 threes.
He looked at that as disrespect, me literally just communicating, and he was like, man, you get up out of here. And I'm like, you signing my release? He like, yeah. I said, I'm gone. I ended up getting my stuff, and I ended up staying the second semester. So when you sign the scholarship good for the whole year. They renew it after every year. So even if I didn't go to a different school, they still had to make sure, I was free. Everything was free. Okay. So I was going to end up leaving because this all happened before December. I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving. Probably had like 60 schools reach out. I'm coming off a year where I averaged 19 and 6. So like, we want him, man. First thing they gonna ask you if you got any cases. Yeah. Why you getting kicked out? You get in trouble? I'm like, no, listen, my grade's good. I ain't got in trouble. I'm like, me and the coach, I just didn't fit him and what he was. You know what I mean? So I remember I was this close to committing to University of New Orleans because they were going from Division III to Division I that next year. And I'd have been Division I player. Yep. And for me, it was like, I want to be D1.
Everybody want to be D1.
I want to be D1.
That's a fact.
But I had my daughter, and my daughter was five hours from me because she in Milwaukee. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stay here. You know what I mean? I'm going to figure out, I'm going to go against the process. And that's what I did. So I committed to Tusculum in Tennessee. And I remember during the summer I was there, and the coach called me while I was in Milwaukee. I'm in Mayfair Mall, no lie. Buying some shoes. He like, Ray, I'm like, what's going on? He like, I'm leaving. I'm like, leaving where? He like, I'm leaving Tusculum. I'm like, okay. He like, yeah, I'm going to West Virginia Wesleyan. I'm like, so coach, what this mean for me? Like, I gotta stay here, or like I didn't find another school? He like, no, you coming with me.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, who else coming with you? He like, no, it's just you. I'm like, say less. So I ended up going to West Virginia Wesleyan, and from there, you know what I mean, everything kicked off, man. Everything, like, that's when I can say everything clicked, where everybody like, I'm a late bloomer. I grinded at Northern Michigan, yes. But when I was at West Virginia Wesleyan, I was with that coach, everything clicked. That was the first time I really took time to lift weights. I took care of my body. I really diet. I did everything the right way. I didn't cheat the grind at all. And I seen the results that season. That season was by far, like something, that'd be something you would see in a movie where somebody make it up. You know what I mean? Have somebody go 48, 41, then 41 again, and then I'm averaging, you know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. I was top 10 nation in scoring.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So this all facts. You can look it up. Documentation.
These is all facts, no bullshit.
Oh.
And too, so like, even with that, I was watching some of the highlights from that. I always knew you know what I'm saying? You had a smooth jumper, you had a smooth perimeter game. I seen it in your college highlights, you was working a lot through the post. You know what I'm saying? So is that coach, is he somebody that helped you develop your post game as a guard?
You know what's crazy? No. I will say this. I would say that I had to look at where I was at And when I put that muscle on, I was already a 6'2", 6'3" point guard, shooting guard. So at Division II level, that's good. You know, at 6'3", you might get a 3-man or a 4-man at best might be 6'5". So when I'm that, I'm like, anybody that's not 6'5" and up, but it's over. Like, I gotta put you down here. So why I committed to him, I think I had, if I don't recall, it was like 35 scholarship offers because I had created a little highlight tape. And I'm showing that I average this, average this, average that. My resume at that point was first team, second team, you know, All-American freshman team, freshman year. It was what it was. So I just remember putting that work in. I remember being just at Wesleyan and everything just clicking, man. The coach was like, look, I don't run plays. I said, huh? Okay. He said, I don't run no plays. I run motion. You got to read the defense. If they trail you, you curl. If they cut it out, you flare. I said, oh, I could do that. So from there, you got to think, and people go, I average 20. But how many shots? My 48 point game, I shot 70%. My other 41 point games, I shot over 60. You know, it was just reading the defense. And I'm gonna tell you right now, what really helped me, and I swear when I was in Mexico, when I was in Morocco, when I was in Saudi Arabia, they called me floater. My floater separated because you gotta think, until now, guys were literally only doing threes, or they were getting to the rim. That's what smacking the backboard was in, or dunking. And I remember, I'm like, dog, I gotta get some of my game that's quick, that's gonna, you know, help me. I'm not fast. It was a floater, and I swear that shot made me. It separated me from a lot of guys. I swear it's a floater. Not to sound like I wasn't good, but it was a floater. No lie.
So with Northern Michigan and going to West Virginia, what was like was there any major adjustments you had to make just off the court? Like, what was the biggest adjustments for you?
Listen, Northern Michigan had 10,000 people. West Virginia Wesleyan had maybe 1,500. And then I'm in West Virginia. Exactly. I'm walking in KFC, a guy got a shotgun on his back ordering a bucket of chicken, bro. It's like, what? Well, there's one bar, you know, it's one bank, it's a Little Caesars, it's a gas station that sell food, it's a Walmart. Ain't no mall. We gotta go, you know, 2 hours away to go to University of West Virginia, which was dope. That was good. Yeah. But it was a major adjustment, but it was a blessing because all I literally had to do was hoop. I had to focus on basketball. I had no distractions. I had nothing. My mom like, you're not coming home. You staying there. Thanksgiving, Christmas, I stayed there. She like, you in the gym. Get in the gym. Ain't nothing here. You not missing nothing. So that's what I did, man. And it was a result of the work I put in. So that's why when I see guys now, and this tap into my training, I'm like, bro, you ain't working hard enough. I think what separated me, like I said, was a floater and my cardio. No, it was guys that were faster than me. It was guys that were stronger than me. It was guys that probably was skilled better than me. But because I was in better shape, when it came to that time, I knew I was going to outlast you. And I try to tell guys that now. I'm like, you can be cold, but it's going to be a guy that ain't as cold. But guess what? He going to look better than you because you tired.
Facts.
And the first thing I always do in my workouts, we start with cardio. We're going to do something that's going to make you uncomfortable right away. I don't come in there, I'm not no rebounder, I'm not no person that's just there. No, we gonna work. And I had guys throw up, I had guys tell me they're not coming back, and that's fine. But you ain't gonna cheat the grind with me, you know what I mean? So, what it is.
Yeah, that's good shit. That's real shit.
That's
too,
what
man.
it is.
Facts. So, all right, so you going in after your senior year. When did you start getting looks into, you know, pros and getting workouts for that? What's that process
I'm
like?
finna tap into something so crazy. So look, the coach that I had in Northern Michigan that replaced the coach that had the heart issue at Northern Michigan was from Milwaukee. He knew who I was and everything. And I was gonna leave when he got the job. And he ended up calling my mom's and driving down from Michigan. And we sat in the living room. He like, man, I need you to stay. It's the guy that I'll tell you that I don't fit his system.
Yeah. We
get there, you know, obviously I can't leave. He know that. So disrespect started coming. You know, I'm gonna give you a quote. One quote was, I turned the ball over. He like, if you had a kid, you'll be fumbling the baby. He don't even know me, not knowing that I do got a kid. So that just goes to show you how much he did not know about me. You know what I mean? So I remember just going through it and whatever. And long story short, when all them scholarships was coming after I was gonna leave, school's gonna call. So of course he gonna say, oh, he's selfish, he's a bad teammate, this. I've never been kicked out of one practice. You know what I mean? Was I benched? Yes. I asked why I was benched. I was told, "Oh, you're doing 99% of what I tell you." I said, "What's the 1%, coach? I'll do it."
Oh wow.
It was something. I don't know. I think, me personally, I think from a coach. Now I'm in the coaching seat. Sometimes you got to make an example out of your best player, and I do it, but I don't do it to that extent where you getting off my team. But I'm just gonna kick your butt and mentally, you know what I mean, challenge you.
Yeah.
And I just kind of felt like too many buttons was pressed. But like I said, when I ended up leaving, so 48, 41, 41. No lie. So Coach Boone called me. I'm like, "Coach, what's going on?" He like, "Ray, I just got the phone in the NBA." I'm like, "Oh, what?" I'm like, "Man, stop playing." He like, "No, Ray, listen. Memphis, Bucks, Bulls just called." I said, "Bro, come on, stop playing." He like, "Ray, you just had 48. Then you just had 41 and 41. They see that." I'm like, "Coach, so what's going on?" He like, "Man, they want to see you after the season, blah, blah, blah." Cool. So after the season over, we lose in the second round of the NCAA tournament. We in the NCAA tournament. First round, I end up hitting a 3 to make us go up by 1. We beat Winston-Salem, which is a Division II HBCU black powerhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for us to beat them was big because they beat Division I's down there all the time. And when I say they was cold, they had 3 guys that was getting looked at by the NBA too.
Yeah, I heard of that.
So teams there. Like when we played them, they there watching us.
Yeah.
You are easy work. It happened, whatever. But then we go to the All-Star game. And I was the MVP of so out of Division II, they picked the top 20 guys. I'm top 10 in the nation in scoring. My team won, so I was in it. And Coach called. I'm like, "Coach, what's going on?" He like, "Ray, I got some bad news." I'm like, "So what's going on?" He like, "Man, you perform great. They like you, but they called your coach." So they do a background check. When I say they called my middle school coach, they called my middle school coach, they called my high school coach, they called the coach that didn't recruit me when I was at Northern Michigan. They got the guy that we bump heads and I end up. He's selfish. He this, he that. He not that good. Like the film that I'm like. So my coach ended up telling me, he like, "Ray, listen, I'm gonna help you find the agent, but the NBA team scratched off. They literally do this background check on you. They do it. Like it's that deep."
Yeah.
And man, I ain't gonna lie, that was the toughest break for me because when we had the All-Star game, I wasn't at school. All-Star game was like March. After the tournament, I went to the crib.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to the league.
Yeah, I would have felt
so
that
I'm
way.
like, hey, I gotta prepare for the league. You know what I mean? I remember hitting up Shump. I was so Shump Hoops. You know what I mean? He trained right now.
Yeah, shout out Shump.
Man, listen, I'm his first client. And I'm telling him like, "Bro, I'm trying to get ready for the league, bro." He like, "What?" I'm like, "Shump, they calling, bro." And I'm like, we need to get in here.
Yeah.
And I remember just everything broke down. So I remember taking like a month off. Like I had to take a month emotionally, like mentally. That was the first time I could sit here and say I was depressed. Like it's like, I was gonna touch I was summer league. I was going with Memphis summer league team. I was on the roster.
Oh, that's
that happened. They get took. You know what I mean? So
and that's very depressing as a basketball
because
player.
you put all that work in that time, man. And I get they gotta do their job, and I get they gotta do a background check. For me, it just hurt, bro. Like I'm like, bro, right here, I'm thinking about my daughter. I'm not gonna change. My mom, it wasn't even about me. It was like, bro, I'm about to help my mom. I'm about to.
It's life changing.
It's life changing. You know what I mean? Let's say I don't make the league, right? Yeah. But because I got that stamp, instead of making what I made, which we're gonna get into, when I made my first contract easily 6 figures, just because I'm on a summer league team. So you looking at $20,000, $25,000 a month. Compared to what I'm gonna end up telling you in a minute, what I end up making to start with, crazy. It's like, even if I just sat there, or they gave me an opportunity and I really got in, I'm like, okay. I just feel like I just need an opportunity. I just feel like I've been at every level. You know what I'm saying? I played against Michigan State on TV when they was #1 in the country and had 20. You know what I mean? I played against Michigan with Manny Harris. You know what I'm saying? I played against UW Green Bay and had 20. So I proved I could play at that level with those guys. I just wanted the opportunity. Do I regret anything? I still don't regret nothing. I don't regret anything with that, but I will say that hurt afterwards. So after that, I got myself together. I'm like, you know what, bro? It's still a bag overseas. Now I just gotta start from the bottom. This is what you do anyway. So in my mind, I just remember writing down. I had a piece of paper I wrote down. I said, you know, no schools really wanted me, and in college. In high school, I was ranked on nobody. I wasn't a top 50 senior. I wasn't ranked nowhere on nothing. I wasn't ranked in the country. So in my mind, it's like that's what I had to look at every day. So every day I'm grinding. And I just remember, this gonna sound crazy. I averaged 22, top 10 nation in scoring. I'm coming off a winning season. I was the MVP at the All-Star game, the NABC All-Star game, Reese Division II All-Star game.
And that was down in North Carolina, right?
That was in Kentucky, Northern Kentucky.
Okay.
So we down there and got nothing. I just told you my resume. I don't have nothing. I got an agent. He can't place me. If he give me something, it's on some like, I'm going just cause. It don't even make sense. I'm like, man, listen, I'll go start from the bottom, but you gotta give me something. When I'm about something, it can be $1,000, but I ain't going over there for nothing.
Yeah, that's wild.
So,
especially after coming off an MVP performance.
Come on, man.
That's wild for you to go through that. Yeah, that's tough.
I'm going to North Carolina. I go to North Carolina. It's 80 guys all over. And long story short, I get MVP.
That's where you win MVP.
I won MVP there.
Okay.
So I won MVP there, and still,
that was like a
exposure. That was like for guys to go overseas.
Yeah.
It was coaches there. When I sit here and say I'm the MVP out of 80 guys, I'm the best player, I still don't get picked up. They pick 3 other guys. They pick all bigs, but that's how it is. That's when now that I'm older and I played, understand. It's harder to place a guard in a big. You can find another guard where you at. It's right. Harder than big. So that time I'm like, damn. But then they like, all right, look. So we taking the top 15 guys that don't got no offer. We're gonna go to New England. We're gonna go over there for a whole month. And we're gonna play against other teams, and you can get exposure, get film. So I'm like, problem with that is that's 4 G's I gotta come up in a month.
Oh wait.
So I'm busting doubles down. I'm at St. Charles at the time. I'm busting doubles down. I'm not even working out. I'm so worried about getting over there. So I bust that move and do it. I make it happen. We go. But when I say after the first 2 games, I had to get my feet wet. 40 every time. Top teams, top BBL teams, Germany, everywhere. And long story short, I ended up networking with a guy. He like, I will sign you, but we got our guy already. And he's got a guaranteed deal. He's like, he's getting like 60,000 for the, 60,000 between, the next 3-4 months. Yeah. I'm like, man. So he like, look, but I got an agent. I'm gonna give you his information. Okay, he vouched for me. That's how I got my job on Rocco. And then, from there, that's how my pro. Keep in mind, it took me a year. That's why when guys be coming and they complaining, I'm like, bro, I was an All-American, Division II, All-American. And it took me a year and a half to get an offer. And people will be ready to, I ain't got no offer, so I'm finna go do that. Like that's what separates, Nipsey said one thing. He said the difference between me and everybody else is I didn't quit. I could have easily quit like everybody else, and I didn't. For real. So that's how it all happened.
Real shit, man. And before we get into your pro accolades like that, I sort of want to hold up on that a bit because I want to bring you back on for another day. Okay. So we gonna hop into something else. We most definitely gonna get into your pro career.
Let's do it.
Right now, I want you, tell me a little bit about members only. Okay. You know what I'm saying? How that came about.
So I was originally with another company we had put together. And as an adult, so outside of basketball, I would say this, as an adult, the one thing I learned was doing business with friends, doing business with family, always have paperwork. You know what I mean? It's no knock, no disrespect to nobody. It was just one of those things that I just kind of feel like because of me and how I am and how hard I work, I just kind of feel like when I throw myself into something, most of the time, everything kind of gravitates to me in the sense of, let's say it's a fan base, let's say it's a customer, you know what I mean? So when someone sees everything coming to you, even though it's y'all, becomes a problem. You're gonna butt heads. It's gonna be like, you eat.
That's fact.
You know what I mean? So it just came to a mutual understanding. I'm like, you know what? Obviously, we on 2 different things. Let's just separate. So members only come from, in my mind, I wanted this to be like members only. Like to be a part of this, you got to do something special, or you got to be, you know what I mean? It's a reward in a sense, you know what I mean? So this even tap into my students, you know, I'm a teacher. This tap into the kids I mentor. Like, no, you can't have members on. No, you can't get no members on the hoodie, man.
Yeah.
You gotta get your act together, man. You gotta represent this in the right way.
That's real.
You know what I mean? So, you know, members only basketball at the end of the day is a selective group of individuals, and I ain't even gonna say selective because I'm a resource, bro. You know what I mean? I had to realize that. I always looked at like, I don't want to be used. I don't want to be used. I don't want to be used. But at the end of the day, I'm to be used, bro. Like, my resources with helping guys get in college, helping guys get overseas, helping families make decisions on high school, helping guys with NIL deals, helping guys with professional contracts. You know what I mean? It just, I had to realize that it's okay to use me, but don't misuse me. You know what I mean? So members only really just stands for, you know, grit. It stands for hard working. It stands for just being honorable, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, and being loyal to the craft, you know what I mean? That's one thing I always say, man. When somebody come over here and they do a group session, or they do, you know, they package, or do a package deals. Hey, man, here you go. You a member, man. And that's just something I do. Do people purchase hoodies? Yes. But for the guys that work out with me, you only get that when you pass the test, when you show me you serious about this. And I love it, man. It's just, man, I love it. It's time consuming, but what I'm doing, man, it's bigger than just the clothing. And people are like, man, you making money off the clothing. Man, it's going towards me helping this guy. Hey, coach, I got a guy. I'm going to pay for him to come on a visit. Can you just work him out? Tell me what you think. And giving guys opportunity to get scholarships. So that's what I'm doing, man. You know what I mean? So some of the proceeds go to that. Some of the proceeds go for, you know, for instance, my guy, Dave, had just got a job in Germany. I said, bro, I got you. He got a situation. They wanted him to pay for his ticket there. So a lot of teams right now, since COVID, their budget don't kick in until the player actually arrives. So they give you the bread back. But I'm like, hey, bro, I got you. What's your ticket? Okay, yeah, I got you. Let's bust that down, and you just keep it. When they give it back to you, it's all good, bro. You know, I just want to help guys make their dream come true, because guess what? I tell people, I tell my middle school and high school, I said, I wish I had a me coming up. Y'all got a me. Y'all got me, bro. I've been through everything, man.
That's one thing I can say about you. It's been times I see you post, and it's been for years, posting like, hey, it's an opportunity for overseas right now. I damn near wish, like, man, I wish I ain't smoked so much to have my shit together. You know what I'm saying? You're not throughout plenty of opportunities for people, so I most definitely always seen that. To backtrack a little bit, just with the overseas, not really just going to basketball, but like just off the court, the pros and cons. What you feel like, you know what I'm saying, some of the pros is like, did you get to adapt with the culture some? Or was you really isolated? Was it more just basketball? What's, you know, some of the pros and cons on and off?
Crazy. I got a book I've been working on last year. Probably not gonna be done until probably end of this next year coming up. But I got a book about the overseas life, like the real. People get this persona about overseas and think it's just bubbles and roses. Like, they just think everything is just. It's not that, man. It's not like. Saudi Arabia was amazing, bro, as far as food, as far as the bread, the money was good.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But there's nothing for me to do how I would be here. So in a sense, what I mean by that is, bro, you go to McDonald's. It's split in half. One side is for the women and kids, one side for the men.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So my game used to be 15,000 people. Can't no female be in that environment. It could only be males. Women weren't even able to drive when I was there.
Wow,
yeah, you know what I mean? So
that's a big culture shock.
Man, so look, quick story. Like, I'm at the grocery store in Saudi Arabia. It's the one time you might run into a female there or a mall. And I remember being in a grocery store, and I remember a girl seeing me. So they know I'm American. They want to take a picture there, you know. And I remember my teammate who was from there slapped the camera, slapped her phone out of her hand, like, I'm like, bro, what's going on? You just want to take a picture of me? He like, bro, you will go to jail here for that.
Wow.
I said, what? He like, bro, you will go to jail. He's like, that's how strict they are. It's one of them countries where when you first land and you got to fill out that paperwork, it says on the paper, when you get there, it says, bringing in drugs equal death. Like to sum up what it say. And I'm like, oh yeah, you ain't gotta worry about that one. I won't be doing that. You know what I mean? But even after the games, there's no drinking. There's you know, I don't smoke, but I know guys that do. I remember when I was there, hookah had just came out. They was smoking hookah already. Yeah. I'm like, bro, what is this? I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that, bro. Like, what is? And I remember I had a huge crib, bro. I had a 3 bedroom crib with 2 bathrooms by myself. Had a maid, had a chef. But it's like, bro, after the game, what I'm gonna do? Get on FaceTime? Get on 2K? Yeah. The money was good, but I felt like, in a sense, I was missing out of like just life in general. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm here, I'm making money, I'm hooping. Yeah. But after I'm done hooping, after I'm done practicing, or I'm done doing my individual and lifting, you still got 12 hours, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's like, man, so it was a lot of downtime. That's the downgrade. And then when I was in Sony, they wouldn't let me come back to the crib because they knew if I went back to the crib, I wasn't coming back. Okay. So what they did was, they like, hey, we gonna pay for you to go to Dubai. They paid me to go to Dubai for a week. Yeah. So I went to Dubai and kicked it. Yeah. Did my thing, you know what I mean? So that's one thing I would say. Mexico was like here. Oh, okay. In a sense. Yeah. Everything was cheaper. More people knew English. You know, I would say with Morocco, if I had somewhere where I could be like, I could tell people like, hey, bro, you should go visit here. Bro, Casablanca, bro. Yeah. Morocco. Listen, bro. Beautiful. Listen. Just imagine 50 million J-Los. There's J-Los everywhere, bro. Pure J-Los. Jennifer Lopez. That's a bet. Yeah, man. Well, shit, that's good because I do hear like a lot of. No, they don't tell you the real, bro. And then you gotta. It's certain. So in Morocco, nobody can have a gun there but soldiers. Okay. I remember us being there. They wouldn't mess with us because we were so like, you know what I mean? I was always with my. I had a 6'9" and a 6'8" on my team too, so I was always with them. Only way I go in the community, but we remember getting off the bus and seeing somebody with some pliers, like literally grab somebody's ear from behind, like give me your iPhone. If you don't, we're gonna rip your ear. Straight like that. And I split. I'm telling you. Mexico, the only thing with Mexico is a little grimy because they'd do stuff like, if you got on gold, they'd try to get you, police. Or they'd tell you, hey, you got your passport? Yeah. Like, they'd be like, let me see it. If you don't give me 500, we taking this. You ain't getting your passport back, you stuck here. So what you gonna do? Get out of it. You gonna pay that. Yeah, pay that 500. That's when I learned to stop doing that. And I remember my guy Q, man. I keep telling him, like, bro, stop. He used to be in Morocco just walking around like it was nothing. It's not as strict as Saudi Arabia, but it is a Muslim country. Yeah. So you can't interact with the women like that. But I will say, man, listen. He had to chill. He was dealing with the women. I remember one time, man, listen, they tried to put him in jail. It was that serious. Like, it was that serious, man. We always have fun. Mexico was fun because you go to the clubs, you can do everything you normally do. They had a casino, you can bet. Saudi was, I make the most money. Okay. But it was nothing to do, bro. Yeah. It was nothing. They took care of me, but it was nothing to do. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, man. I like that breakdown. I hear a lot of stories with overseas, you know what I'm saying? And some, you know, they gotta stay isolated. Just, you know, it's a lot of culture shock. Brittany Griner. Yeah, Brittany Griner. I got a Brittany Griner story. No, let me get the Brittany Griner story, man. So I'm in Saudi, and it's the part about basketball that's in my book when I say people gotta be ready for this. Family members gonna get sick. People gonna go to the hospital. Your girl, your spouse gonna do something. What you gonna do? And I remember that was the first time I had some adversity and I wasn't ready for it, bro. And I remember literally packing my stuff and going to the airport. And I didn't know my teammate was a soldier. And he seen me at the airport. So he called the coach. And while I'm trying to get back to the crib, the person I'm with at that time, I'm just seeing my money get low, my account. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm with them, so I'm like, I'm eating, so hey, I'm gonna take care of y'all. But it's getting low. Like, I'm like, hold on, man. I'm talking 10. Yeah. I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, hold on. What's going on with this bread? Like, Then my family telling me, you know, people moving like this. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I gotta get to the crib. Like, I know what's up. I ain't there. I know what's going on. So that's why I'm trying to hit it. So long story short, like I said, the soldier there is my teammate. All right, where you going? I'm like, oh, I'm coming right back. I'm just going home for a quick second, man. I'll be right back. You know what I mean? I'll be back. Man, he called my coach. They come. No lie. how I knew was because I didn't have Wi-Fi. I didn't have service in Saudi, but I used to use my coach Wi-Fi. He always had Wi-Fi. So I'm sitting there, and my coach come, and my phone started dinging. Ding, ding. I'm like, oh. It only started dinging because my coach there.
Yeah.
So that means he near. He walk up to me, man. He walk up to me with about 4 soldiers, bro. And they got guns and all. And I had a guaranteed contract. My contract was like 40 bands. It's like 40,000 left on there. He like, if you don't sign this, you can't leave. I'm like, what? He like, if you don't sign this contract, I'm gonna say you stole and you can't leave. So you gotta remember, they paid for my shoes. They gave me all type of stuff. So all I did was, I had a LeBron bag. I took my LeBron bag off, unzipped it, took my passport. I gave them the whole bag. I'm like, huh. So what they did, they just took whatever they want out the bag. I still got the bag. They took everything out the bag, gave my bag back. So I had my passport in my book bag. They took the salary. They had just paid me.
Yeah.
They took that too. They just took everything. Wow. So they just, you know what I mean? And I signed it. You know what I mean? I had, in my mind, all I was thinking in that moment was, if I don't sign this, I know for a fact I'm in a jail. How y'all gonna hear from me?
Yeah, exactly.
I can send out a letter. How I know y'all they gonna actually send it out? How I know? Yeah. Who gonna come look for me? I ain't Brittany Griner. My name ain't that big. So I'd have been just sitting there till this day stuck. So for me, it was, all right, I'm gonna sign that. Yeah, y'all can keep that money, but I'll get to the crib. I'm gone.
Most definitely.
And then I remember them calling me, asking me to come back. But I was scared, bro.
Yeah, that would scare me too. Yeah.
No, I'm good because y'all might be trying to just get me to come there and throw me in jail.
Exactly.
Hell, bro. So I just, that situation, man, I ain't gonna lie, that situation was crazy.
Would you have went back if it didn't, like, if you went home, handled that situation, would you have went back regularly, like you said?
For sure.
So they basically fucked that up themselves.
They did, but I gotta be accountable. Looking at it right now as a team that they had and the money that they was investing in me, and for me just to leave and not say nothing, I can get why they was salty. But to pull that card like you finna go to jail and we finna say you stole is different. Like just say, hey, where you going? Like they was be like, hey, look, we'll let you go to the crib, but you ain't back by this game. I'd have did that. I just need to go back to the crib and see for myself what was going on, get myself situated real quick, remove myself, and then I'm back to the bread. You know what I mean? So, and I ain't gonna lie, that kind of put a hold on my career for about 1.5 years when I did that, because your name over there carry. I remember when I was over there, I was averaging probably 35 and like 10. So I'm a top guy in the Middle East. So they got rankings where they rank you when you in, certain countries or what's going on. So teams are noticing because you got Lebanon, you got like Mike T. Mike T play in Lebanon. He always play in the top leagues because he got the NBA stamp, and Mike T cold.
Mike T cold.
You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah,
Respect to Mike T always. So I was trying to, in my mind, I swear to God, no lie, this is my mind. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get where Mike T at. Like, why would I, like, he from the mill, he over here eating, he killing, I'm watching, he don't even know I used to watch his game film, bro.
Yeah, fact.
Like, that's how much I was watching, because when you over there, Lebanon is better because he has real players. When me and Saudi, you got probably a construction worker, a soldier, a police officer. You got people that don't actually play basketball. So guess what the team's doing? They putting 2 guys on you the whole game. And you still got to go get 30. And if you don't get 30, they send you home. You know what I mean? So I was trying to get to that level where the money was better and it was just a little bit where I could play my game and not be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, man, listen, people got to understand, overseas is a blessing, but you got to be ready for it. I remember my brother ended up getting into a situation, got into a fight, ended up in the hospital. I was ready to come home. I was like, no. She like, what is you coming home finna change? We got him. You stay there, get your money, take care of what you got to. We got this. I was ready to, like, you know what I mean? And then you got to think, I got a game the next day. So I do with my brother that happened, or my grandmother in the hospital, or my grandfather going through this. So when people are like, I want to go overseas, I'm like, bro, you got to make sure you got to be built for that. Everybody not built for that. And guys struggle overseas. You know what I mean? It's like, it's top guys. I could name top guys on the top league Mexico. But guys lead the NBA. You go look at the top league LMVP and go look at how many guys in the NBA in that league, but they struggle in that league. Overseas is different, man.
Do you think one day, I don't know, I know it's hard because the NBA, they shut down all the leagues, but like they can make it to where the G leagues can keep like America talent in America? Because like at the end of the day, we still got some of the best talent, even in the NBA. It's only 450 spots.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't, our talent shouldn't still be going overseas. I feel like they can build a league here.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna ask you a question. So you a guy that's in the G League.
Yeah.
So you got a chance to go to the league, possibly. You don't know for sure. You got a chance though. But let's say they like, hey, we gonna give you 250. It's gonna get taxed. You right? Right? It's gonna get taxed. But you got a overseas team telling you, hey, I'm gonna give you 700,000 tax free for 5-6 months. Where you going?
I'm going overseas.
Come on, man, stop playing. Like it's
most definitely. It's
like,
that
you know
simple.
what I mean?
Yep.
So that's why the problem of money.
I'm almost going even without even looking at the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. But you gotta think, these guys are going to Spain, they're going to, you know what I mean, Italy, they're going to Australia. You're going somewhere with some, you ain't going where I was at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You going somewhere with some livelihood. You know what I mean? Where you can actually be you and do you and be a normal, you know what I mean? I'm gone.
Yeah,
700? Come on, bro. What are we talking about right now? Stop playing.
Facts. Yeah, so we always gonna be having talent going overseas at the end of the day. Most definitely.
It's always gonna be that though. It's always, and what's crazy is their top guys are coming where? To the league.
Yeah, facts.
Because they get more bread here. And the guys that ain't, they going.
Yeah.
Mike James, man. Mike James was just with Phoenix Suns.
Yeah,
and he the top guy in Europe right now, really overseas.
I was just going, I'm glad you brought him up. Mike James, that's one of my favorite players.
Stop playing.
He is great talent.
Stop playing. Stop playing. Cold.
Hell yeah. So real quick, I ain't gonna hold you too much longer. Give me you a scorer, lethal scorer. So give me your top 5 scorers all time. They don't even gotta be from the league. They can be in the league, but give me your top 5 scorers all time.
All time, like my own, like
your favorite.
So it don't
gotta be because of Will Chamberlain got the records. None of that is Raymont top 5 scorers.
Okay.
NBA, no NBA, don't matter.
Okay, I'm gonna go everywhere with it. I'm gonna grab some different places. First thing that came to mind when you said that, listen, KD, you know what I mean, it's just because of the skill set at that size. I'm gonna go another lead person too. I'm gonna go Kyrie. If Kyrie was 6'6", 6'7", listen, Kyrie got the most beautiful in-sync game I've ever seen. We gotta take away all the off-the-court stuff. That boy cold.
I agree.
All right? So now I'm gonna go away from the league. Mike James gotta be in there. Listen, bucket,
true bucket.
true, and I'm gonna piggyback off Luka. Hey, it's harder to score over there than it is here. That's why you see Luka and them doing like Luka going crazy right now. Easy. Then I'm gonna go into when I was in high school. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. He had a counter for everything. This player had a counter. He's still playing right now. He played with Detroit. You know what I mean? He played with a couple NBA teams. The White Bites. Listen, bro. And I remember when I played against him, the first time I ever played against the White, I didn't know who he was. Bro, he kicked my ass. You know what I mean? I could sit here and literally say that he kicked my. That was the first time I'm like, dog. He got to ask, man. He old, bro, or something. He got to be 2 years older than me, bro. Nah, he was cold, bro. Like he really had a counter. Like you would stop something, he had something else, and then if you stop that, he had. I'm like, dog. And then that's when smacking the backboard was in. He really was the one that I'm like, dog. Going crazy, had the headband with the braids. Headband with the braids, the White was different, bro. So I'm gonna go there. And I'm gonna go into high school right now. I'm a little biased, but I get to see it every day. And I work them out here and there. Bro, Dupree Fletcher Jr., Miko. Somebody just asked me who was the best player in the state of Wisconsin. There's no bias, you know what I mean? But I said, you don't know who your coach is, you don't know your other teammates. I know for a fact you can double team and triple team Miko because I see it all the time. He's still gonna get 30. He just did it against a team that has 3 high major players, 8 scholarship players that I feel like at the end of their career they're gonna end up going to school for free. And he just gave them 30. He got 24 and a half and they beat him. And he only 5. I'm gonna give him 5'9" on a good day. Man, come on, man. I'm rocking with him, man. I'm rocking with him for sure.
Dog, that's a great list. I ain't gonna lie, man. Especially like you said, if Kyrie, if he was 6'6", I feel like if somebody never watched basketball before and just, you know, with his basketball, I get him just a Kyrie highlight.
Bro,
so I say, yo, but all the scores you said just ridiculous. Dwight, I done seen Dwight in action, especially the debut times.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Him going from junior college into Marquette.
Come on, man.
I seen a lot of Dwight. So your whole list, I love that list. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
For sure.
And we can put you on that list, but I'm glad you kept yourself.
I'm show love. No, always.
Most definitely. But most definitely, man, I'm glad to have you in. I want to bring you back. Oh, wait, another question before I let you go. Since you most definitely was overseas, just the experience, like what Lucas said, just the physicality, defense, and how it's harder to score over there. Like, you know, speak on that a little bit, and like just with the NBA rules. I know it's more about entertainment with the NBA, but do you feel like they need to bring some of the overseas touch back a little bit, or just, you know what I'm saying, the touch they used to have to where it's a little harder to score?
I forgot the guy's name. This is all facts. I'm in Mexico. So for answer your question, I'm in Mexico. He played behind Boogie Cousins at Kentucky. He was a first-round pick. He was a center. He got drafted 30th. I forgot where he went. But long story short, he ended up in Mexico. So he's out the league where I was there.
Okay.
Man, listen, he had 4 points. So you mean to tell me a guy that got drafted in the first round that's in his prime young years got 4 points?
Yeah,
and you know me, hey, bring him. I need him in the screen and roll. He got to work. He got to guard me. I would say it's harder to score overseas. The spacing in the NBA is crazy. And how the fouls are. You know what I mean? So what I mean by that is, God, you're not coming in the lane and just doing this overseas. You can go look at any clip you want to. Somebody's taking you out. Somebody's doing something to you. And that's why I was lucky because I had a floater. A lot of guys struggle overseas because they don't have a mid-range game. So after you get past 3-point line, they push you off. Where you going to the lane, they going to knock you on your ass. So for me, luckily, I had something in between that worked for me. And they like, dude, I had coaches like, literally, your floater is the reason why y'all won the game. You can shoot the three, you want to give it the three. We didn't want you all to the rim, so we had to do something. Oh, well, I'm going to float it over your big every time. I don't care if you're 7 foot. I would say that it is harder. I'm not taking away nothing from guys, you know what I mean, that are in the league at all. They are talented individuals. But what I mean is, it's definitely harder because it's more physical. They not calling this. You could do that. Yeah. You can do that in a tech. That ain't a flagrant one. That's a regular foul, buddy. And they're gonna bring somebody else in and do it to you as well. Yeah. It's just what it is. I will say what Lucas saying is true. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't want to hear, but look at his game. Man, I keep thinking Luka 30 something. Yeah, for real. His mid 20s, bro.
I don't even think he's 20. He's like 24,
yeah,
23.
25. He's 25. Yeah. He just turned 25, bro.
That's ridiculous.
He ain't even in his prime yet. Look what he's doing. He 32, bro. And he's doing it at his pace.
Facts.
I think that's the biggest thing right now. Overseas guys have a better skill set and they understand the game better because of the pace. Think about it. If you go over there where it's rugged and they beating you up all the time. When you get over here, sweet. Oh, you can't do this to me? Yeah. Oh, that's a foul? Oh, it's over. Man, Luka having his way, man.
And that's something you can relate to because like you wasn't never the most athletic player, but you always played at your pace.
Listen, I call myself the Middleton of Milwaukee. But what you mean? I said, bro, listen. I said because people say what they want, but on that championship run, Middleton was 25-5. But it just, because he's not flashy. But he get the job done. And he efficient. You gonna be like, he all right. That's what people say about, right, bro, you like him, he all right, bro. He all right. He ain't like that, but he all right. Bro, I did that at every level, bro. At my pace and how I wanted to do it. I didn't change nothing, so, for sure.
Good, man. Hell yeah. Hey, I'm happy to have you in. We most definitely gonna have you back.
Let's do it.
I appreciate everything. First off, before you leave, give people your information, any shout outs you want to do, where they can find you at anything. Man,
Instagram, man. RayLove_14. You can find me also on Instagram, members only B-ball. Come book a training session. Come see what it be like, man. I do kids to all the way to pros, man. You know what I mean? If you just want to come see what it's like, it's all good. Members only. Just come check out one of my pages on IG. Feel free to come purchase. You got questions, I can do any color, any style. I got full joggies, I got crew necks, I got hats. Man, but listen, I'm coming with some sandals, I'm gonna come with some shoes. We coming, man. Members only basketball coming real soon, for sure.
Y'all go grab that, man. Hey, members only. We got Raymont in the building, JBTV, man. Love, you always get it.
Appreciate it.